very intellectual, seemingly to read someone like Frantz Fanon and then digest some of his thoughts into a poem. He's an incredibly complex character from the Caribbean, who joined the French army because the French owned the island, Aruba, that he was born in. And he ended up in France, and he ended up fighting down in Algeria with the same people of colour, roughly, that he was. And he took huge umbrage with this, and he walked away from the French army. He deserted and became a rebel, one of the very few in history to do so, because of the shame and basically the shame that's attached to such an act by the armed forces. You just do not do something like that. But he did, and he became a psychologist, and he studied the effects of revolution and violence, and especially violence, bloody violence that kills. And he wrote it all down and gave you his thoughts. He's a fascinating guy, and this one is just a little tribute to him. It's called Concerning Fanon. A rainy rank, the lines of yellow signs, salvation, a lift to the coast, away from homeless streets, cardboard cutouts pleading for change. My taxi pulls away, Dublin 4, we begin to talk, religion, family, the government, the high-pitched Nigerian, the Cameroonian with echoes of Marley, and of course my man from Ghana, with tales of bourgeois death and renewal. But then I remember, after all, it is the night, and we are in darkness, blackness. The Antillean revolutionary comes to mind, his words more prophetic than ever. 60 years later, 60 years too late. Conveniently for all, or so we are to believe, we travel and talk, yet we are sealed into our own objecthood. I hope anyone who's read Fanon will take something from that, and anybody who hasn't would take the time maybe to buy one of his few books that he wrote. He only wrote a couple, but they're well worth a read, and one of them has a preface by Jean-Paul Sartre, which is absolutely amazing. You could write huge amount of dissertations on the introduction alone. So, we shall move on